Well, investing, it's always a risk, that's no question. And if you're not careful, you could just be adding another expense.
Instead of actually saving money, you're spending it. Brad Huffman is here from Future Finances with 3 different options for us this morning to see if they pass the investment test.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So not everything, it may look like it on the surface,
Yes.
but not everything passes that test.
The person selling it to you will use the word investment because it sounds good. And in our mind, it's easier to justify if we consider it an investment. But in many cases, most of what we spend money on is really just an expense. So you can do the little litmus test to see, is it truly classified as an investment?
Is there a general rule of thumb for that as you're looking at these things, you can say, okay, no, this is not really an investment?
Absolutely. Generally, there's 2 things, and we're going to talk about this, but there's 2 criteria that I look at. One is, does it provide the opportunity for growth? Does it go up in value? Or does it also provide income? So if it can do one or both of those things, then we can call it an investment. But some things may do part of it, but I still don't know if I would call it an investment.
They don't do both. All right, come on over here because we've got a couple of examples. And honestly, I don't know about you, but I was surprised by a couple of these.
I am too.
We were talking about this yesterday. Timeshares, where you're investing in time at a condo somewhere or a hotel room somewhere.
Exactly. Anybody who's ever gone through a timeshare presentation either doesn't want to do it again or now owns a timeshare. So it's very popular. Many people have them, but does it really pass that litmus test as an investment? Well, let's think about it. One, does it produce any income? No, not really, because you're paying for it. Now, maybe you can find someone to use your timeshare and you can exploit them, but that's somewhat rare.
But the argument is also that you're saving lots of money by already having a place to go stay.
It's like coupons, basically. Are coupons an investment? No, they're going to help save you money, which is not a bad thing. But they're also, it's not going to grow in value. There is a secondary market of sorts, but selling a used timeshare is very difficult. So I would say, by all accounts, no, not an investment. It can save you money. It can provide some very affordable lodging. But at the same time, that's just an expense, whether you pay more or less for it.
In some different timeshares, you have a deed at the end if you've stayed in that for a period of time. That still isn't considered.
No, unless there's an attractive residual value to that. There really isn't. Now, can't say everyone doesn't work out.
Because they may
but for the most time, they don't. But most time, it's going to be an expense. Again, it's not a bad thing necessarily. If it fits your lifestyle, you can save a lot of money doing this.
Vacations,
but at the same time, it's not what I would consider a wealth creation tool.
Gotcha.
Okay, now,
interesting.
Come on, we invest in houses.
Absolutely.
And we have a deed at the end.
Absolutely. And a home, by all accounts, is an asset we would expect would appreciate. And in many cases, they do. Obviously, we have the housing slump, which is taken away. But the other thing is, a house is not inexpensive.
No.
Maintenance and what I call carrying costs.
All the stuff that, go day-to-day expenses and then fixing things up.
Insurance, taxes, all of those eat up. And there are a number of studies that have proven over long periods of time the value of a home barely keeps up with inflation after expenses. So at the end of the day, I don't consider a home a true wealth creation vehicle. You're better off, if you want to create wealth, is not necessarily buying the biggest home you can get, because if our theory is correct, the bigger home I buy, the bigger investment I have. I don't believe that's the case. I still think owning a home is a great idea. You're building equity. I consider it a conservative asset. It does hold its value per se, but it's not really what I consider a wealth creation vehicle. So if someone says, I need to invest money, should I invest in a house? That doesn't make sense to me.
What about something like buying a rental property?
Different ballgame altogether. If you go in, and there are many people who may go in and buy a home, fix it up, turn around and sell it. Well, that is an investment if you're treated that way. Many people treat their houses as an opportunity to provide shelter, to store all the crap that we have, and really just an expression of ourselves. So when you use it that way, it's going to appreciate, hopefully, but it's really not going to be a true investment in my view. It's just going to be too slow to be considered a proper investment.
Something, though, that we do in the house.
Wait, a lot of no's. Is he in a bad mood?
Always. It's Tuesday. I'm in a bad mood.
Which makes me worry about this one.
Yes, exactly. Now, here's a fun one, wine. Wine is growing in popularity quite tremendously. We have a lot of young millennials.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know if it's a good year or not.
Smells lovely.
Yeah, well. Good bouquet.
Nice. Yes.
But, can wine be an investment? And believe it or not, it can be.
Really?
It is. In fact, there are investment pools out there that invest in nothing but wine. Now, this is not in a collectible rare wine because it's been open one, which is a big no-no.
And they didn't take the foil off.
They didn't take the foil off. But it's like any collectible, whether you're talking baseball cards, artwork, if it's done properly, can grow in value, can provide true capital appreciation. So again, if it's done properly, now with wine you have some nuances as far as storage and things like that, but it truly can be investment if it's done properly. Now, I don't recommend.
And only if you're willing to sell it.
Exactly. Yes. If you're going to drink it in 10 years, then it's just an expense, a very expensive drink, probably.
That's a long time.
But for the most part, it can be an investment if it's done properly. Again, what you're buying at the grocery store for Friday night dinner is not an investment. That is an expense. But if you're with the right, the right group of people, the right type of wine, again, there's investment pools that prove you can make money in this space.
So if you have the mint condition Babe Ruth baseball card, it's a good investment if you're willing to sell it.
And you find the right buyer for it.
If you don't want to part with it, then it's really not.
Then it's, if you're going to keep it forever, then it's just an expensive hobby. Yes. Otherwise, if you're willing to sell it, and again, when you're dealing with high quality wines, you have to be willing to sell it. And if you make money at the end, whether or not you make money is almost irrelevant for the most part, but if you have the opportunity to make money, that's how I consider it an investment.
That's the litmus test.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it, Brett. Thank you.
Next time when you're back, can we talk about Beanie Babies? No, I'm kidding.
We can, yes. I think I brought some with me just in case. But yeah. There's for a time, you could consider it an investment if you were in and out quick enough. If you still have them dusty in the attic, not so much. Not good. So,
I don't know who would ever do that.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Of course, yeah.
Thanks, Brett. What?
Anyway, the little money I could have had back on Beanie Babies.
Yeah. Could have paid for a couple of kids worth of college.
Couple bottles of wine.
All right, it's a Let Dana Do It morning.
That's right. Dana is out. He has a hammer. He has some power tools. We have high hopes that he's going to be able to help. The future home of Cristo Rey Schools is where he is, and we'll check in with him next.